What's up, heads? Gefilte Fish is back. Just got back from the Boulder Summer Tour 2025, and it was life changing. I'll make another video soon breaking down my experience, what I got at Shakedown, etc. soon. I am about to go to Europe for 5 weeks, but I will have that out in a reasonable amount of time. So today I just wanted to talk about the Back on the Train, April 18th, 2025 jam and break that down for you guys because that, in my opinion, is one of the best jams of the decade in general. And it's just an overall jam I would love to share with the community and point out from this year's tour. The spring tour, I didn't make it, but it did have a lot of highlights and it did show that 2025 is a very tight year for the band. So far, this was the band's longest Back on the Train on record. And this song really doesn't usually have a profound jam section, which a lot of people pay attention to. It's a classic sing-along Phish song that is always fun to hear at your local show, but they only jam it out for, a couple minutes at a time. This 18-minute jam is pretty significant and really shows where they can take these grooves in this specific song, which is just a typical groove song. All right, so without further ado, let's break this down. All right, so this is the jam. It is a 17:29 minutes, so we'll have a lot to work with. And yeah, let's just get this started. Seattle, Washington show at the Climate Pledge Arena on April 18th, 2025. Fluffheads, pay attention.
When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind the mountain curl. It took me a long time to get back on that train. Now I'm gone and I'll never look back again. I'm gone and I'll never look back at all.
First off, I just want to say that when I heard this show, first show of 2025, no, there was Riviera Maya, but I didn't really listen to all those. This was just a really good sound that they had, really clean, really tight. Overall, just amazing. And they truly did follow through with the rest of the year after this and how tight that was. So we'll just keep going with that.
You know I'll never look back again. I'll turn my face into the howling wind. It took me a long time to get back on that train.
Classic Emerald.
Flashing by, see me standing in the station in the rain, see me running there beside the car, left it all behind me in a travel far. It took me a long time to get back on that
train. Very significant so far.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held the bucket in my hand. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched smoke behind the mountains, girl. It took me a a long time to get back on that train. It took me a long time to get back on the train. It took me a long time to get back on the train.
So I'm not going to commentate much on just the intro and the main song. It's a 3-minute song, and it's good. It's just classic follow along lyrics, but we have 14 minutes of jam to get through with this track. That's a lot of jamming, and that's cool to me. So we're gonna hit that up, and it's gonna be pretty sweet. Classic, drummer boy. Loving it. I love it. Every time I hear it. And usually by this point, they would just stick with this same segment and just jam that out, maybe to 8 minutes long, just with that chord progression. But look, they did not do that here. So let's just figure this out and see kind of where they're going to go. It's pretty cool. I will say that. It just kind of makes you think, they're sounding so tight. You're like, has Trey been practicing? Has he been taking more lessons as, a professional guitarist? Has he been, tightening up his ways since, the 3.0 era? Because you will see that 2025, with the more jams that come, is their best year since 3.0 and their best year of 4.0 for sure. So it's just astounding what they're sounding like. So I've just been jamming on this major chord progression for the past bit, and it's sounding really good. They really haven't gotten too exploratory yet, but you know what is to come. with this type of groove that they're implementing, they can kind of take it wherever they want to. It's just kind of a template for a jam in a way, which isn't usually how it goes with this song, which is what makes this a cool thing that happened in Phish. Really utilizing that kind of softer wah. Okay, so this is where it starts to get cool. They take it from a major into like a minor diminished type scaling, and that's has a lot of room to go dark on Back on the Train, which is a light song, and putting dark evil Phish in a light song is usually not how it goes. I mean, most shows you'll get the dark evil songs that go light. Carini, for example, is a great example of that. But we're about to get inverse dark Phish. So I'm stoked on that. They're still kind of major with it. They haven't really fully gone minor, but they've diminished it a little bit. And they're starting to progress their way into a darker jam, which is, this transition point is kind of what we like to see. And it's Trey who's kind of leading this pack right now, I feel like, and other instruments are supportive right now. I think Trey is kind of progressing this jam the way he wants to right now, which is, we know how well that goes, and it goes great. Okay. See the click of that pedal? Just playing with the tone. So with that click of that whammy, what he's doing is kind of signaling the band, okay, let's change something. They're going low, they're going pretty quiet, and he's about to put on a show for real, for the entire crowd. He's about to lead them through this journey to this peak of darkness, and it's cool how he does this a lot, and it's one of my favorite things about Trey and Phish. Buzzing, classic. Lighting. TK5 is killing it right now. Just making some notes. Okay, this is when it starts to get real. The color, CK5, by the way, 2025 CK5, man, it's applaudable work that this man is doing for Phish lighting. And it's some of the best shows I've ever seen have been this year. Those Boulder shows, those are the only ones I've seen, but unbelievable from Chris Kuroda. I've never seen him work like that before. It's unreal what this man is doing right now. All of the band somehow tightened up. The entire experience is tightened. It's not even like seeing a concert anymore. It's like seeing an experience. I'm dead serious. These jams, there's no problems with it, and the lighting is perfect, and we know we're in for a treat right now. You can just tell when he finds the riff that's going to lead the jam, and that riff is going to lead the jam. This minor riff, and the entire band is kind of spacing out before they come back to peak. And Trey is definitely kind of standalone soldier right now. It's so tight. It's so rad. Just look at these lights. It's absolutely righteous. It's ridiculous. This entire experience is being coded from behind the scenes. It feels like this is a planned experiment. It's unbelievable. I'm just breathtaking. This is even my first listen. This is my first time actually watching the YouTube and the show, but it's unreal. I did notice that his lighting had a lot of these shapes, a lot of new patterns in them this year when I was seeing them. a lot of bird looking things and V's, and a lot more unified and less sporadic, less like unfolding and more like weaved with patterning. It's cool. It's almost like it's constellations. Like, look at these bright ones, non-bright. It's like you're watching a star show. It's such a this is a sick experience. I'm talking way too much, but we have to get to the peak. Subtle compression. That's the key to peaking this jam, was adding a little bit of compression to that. Maybe switch the pickups too, and you got yourself a peak jam. But he does it. He knows exactly what to do. I mean, it is his jam. I love observing these little things that he does to kind of progress the jam in his favor. So yeah. Bringing it back. All right, we should get a peek here. Throw on the reverse whammy, and you got yourself a peak. I like how he takes it to that low E and just fucking bangs that string and just takes it home. It's sweet.
train. It took me a long time to get back on that train.
That's how you jam. That's how you jam. All right, so I was making notes pretty much constantly throughout this jam of just some things I wanted to talk about when I did my main takeaway of what I got. So, Back on the Train, song from Farmhouse. And, you know, classically, it's a tune, kind of just an upbeat filler. It's a favorite, but it's kind of a filler. I feel kind of the same way about some other tracks like Prince Caspian or Gotta Jaboo. You know, it's not something they usually experiment with too much. And I felt like from the beginning, they kind of meant it to be like that. I think they meant it to be a filler song. But I think towards the 8-minute mark, 8 or 9 minutes, when Trey found that groove, that riff, that one riff that I noted, they just took it home. And they wanted to experiment with that. I think they probably shortened some of their other jams just because of how much they did with that. And I don't think they expected that at all. My favorite thing they did is when they took it to peak and they just decided to run with a dark euphoric feel. It wasn't fully dark and like chaotic like Split Open and Melt, but it was pretty dark for a light song. And my favorite part was definitely taking it up through that scaling and just throwing it in and giving us what it's got. And overall, that's what I really appreciate about the jam, is that it's experimental, it's dark, yet also has this euphoric peak. I'm smiling the whole time I'm enjoying it. So this jam is one of my favorites of the year, if not my favorite of the year, and I give it a 10 out of 10. It's amazing. It's so wonderful. I'm not going to share too much more about the theory behind, this jam, because I think that I can waste a lot of time doing that. But I made quite a bit of notes about, some of the scaling that these guys are doing, and it's cool to see with the Back on the Train jam, for example, what they're doing with that. Thanks for watching this one. Made it pretty fast. Sorry about that, the lack of effort put into this one, but I do have a big story behind Gamehenge video coming out soon. So, hope you guys enjoy. Catch some Phish shows soon this summer tour. Enjoy it. Love it. 2025 is the year for seeing Phish in 4.0. So, if you're going to do it now. Trust me, you will not regret it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.